Welcome to Beer Untapped with Perry Miller, the podcast. I'm joined by Seth.
Hey, welcome, guys. Thanks for finding us on the internet.
Now, these shows originally aired on Brookings Radio, but now they're all here for your enjoyment. I hope you like it.
There you go. Sit back, enjoy the show, relax. Let us know if you want to see anything on future shows. As we said, this comes out live in the Brookings area, but enjoy this archive episode.
Beer Untapped with Perry Miller. Welcome to Beer Untapped with Perry Miller. This week, we say happy birthday to Wooden Legs Brewing of Brookings as they celebrate their third anniversary. They have some events planned this weekend. More on that in a moment. We're going to hear from two of the co-owners, Seth Cook and Brant Mathiasen. Seth says the celebration begins Friday the 13th.
We have kind of a place in our heart for Friday the 13th. Our LLC was actually signed in August of 2010, not long ago, actually. On Friday the 13th in August. So the fact that our birthday when we opened comes across on the 13th. 3 years on, we did the 13th party, 3 years ago, and we just opened up, did a big celebration. I've done it for the last 2 years.
And they're celebrating with a couple of days of events.
It's been an absolute wild ride. We love our customers and appreciate, just the beer culture that's grown up and lived in Brookings and continues to mature in Brookings. So on Friday, anything that we make is half off. So come on down. No limitations. If we make it here, it's half price. It's our way to say thank you. It is Friday the 13th, after all. We've got live music. A band called The Heavy Set is coming out of the cities. And then the party doesn't stop there. On Saturday at noon, roll on in. We're going to have some smoked food because, you know what, because I'm shameless and that's what I like to eat. So that's what we're going to make for our birthday party on Saturday again. I don't know. It's a birthday party plus a day. I don't know. It's right in the middle of American Craft Beer Week, too.
Smoked pork sandwiches, that amazing smoked mac and cheese, and more on Saturday's menu starting at noon.
Our first big party was pork and pints. And we roasted a hog and did pints. And that really was the first time that we all got together and said, let's just not have a bar. Let's throw some parties and do some cool events. So we always kind of bring pork and pints back around for the anniversary.
Co-owner Brant Mathiasen says it's been a fast 3 years.
It's just different than we thought. Seth and I are both engineering guys, and spreadsheets and things work out. Throw those things out the window. It's nothing like a spreadsheet says it should be.
Brant says it's been great to see so many different kinds of beer go through the brew house.
The neatest thing is that we have been able to produce so many different styles of beer. That is what's really exciting to me. Just all those different styles, like, wow, we do that. And people still come in that have been in the brewing industry for much longer than we have, and just looking like, you guys have brewed that many different styles? And we tell them, yeah, we just do what we feel like. It's a nice thing about having a small system. We can really change things up and do fun things regularly.
More on the third anniversary of Wooden Legs Brewing right after this. Welcome back to Beer Untapped with Perry Miller as we celebrate the third birthday of Wooden Legs Brewing in Brookings. Now, we've heard from co-owners Seth Cook and Brant Mathiasen, both men proud of the role they've played in developing the craft beer scene in South Dakota. Brant says there really wasn't much happening when they opened their doors. A few breweries on either end of the state. Well, it could soon hit 16 breweries in South Dakota.
A lot of that, Seth and I did a lot of pave work for the brewing community in eastern South Dakota. We, between going to banks and talking to people about just what it takes to get brewing going, that, I think, helped ease other people into it because the banks, number one, banks were already familiar with what we were talking about, and they saw our successes, so they were more comfortable with helping people achieve their goals.
On Hobo Day 2014, Wooden Legs did a South Dakota tap takeover, putting South Dakota brewed beers through all their lines. That had never been done before, and it got several state brewers started on distributing their beer. That is Seth's favorite moment.
That was the same year that we sent our beer out to all the other locations. It probably took the most logistical coordination. I mean, we had to get brewers signed on with distributors to get the beers here. Then since then, they've been very successful with their distributors. We've done a lot of fun events, but I will always hold that Hobo Day as a real cherish that in my heart because, it touches so close to home with that I love the Rabbits and, we love SDSU and love being part of that, but also because it brought the beer community together and in some ways served as a launching point for a couple of brands that start moving around the state.
Seth looks ahead for us.
We've got a little space to grow. We've got a little elbow room here. We built in some expansion capabilities in our square footage right here. And we'll continue to kind of push those boundaries. Something that blew me away that I wasn't really expecting, in the 3 years, is how popular our food's become. Food was always a component. We said we want to do some cracker crusts and we want some pizza and some sandwiches, but I really had no idea how well that would take. I knew they were good, but I really was not expecting the reception that we've got from it. If you read any of our reviews on Yelp or Google or any of those places, people rave about the food, which is rightfully so. We take a lot of pride in it. But the original plan didn't have that as such a large component, and we're thankful to have it, but that's been a little bit of a pivot for us to make sure that we can still make enough food as we get seeing more and more guests. Stay tuned. We're actually coming up with some new stuff this summer, so this is kind of a fun little teaser segue that we see that as a cool place to expand, and the summer is always a good place to kind of work out the kinks and some new menu stuff.
Don't miss the Wooden Legs anniversary celebration Friday and Saturday. Full details on their Facebook page. Finally today, let's turn to Brookings Liquor Store beer guide Drew Eklund, pumped to finally welcome Surly Brewing to full-on distribution in South Dakota.
Finally, yes. This is probably the most anticipated brewery to hit South Dakota since New Belgium back in 2009. All 7 of Surly's year-round beers are available in 16-ounce 4-pack cans. Let's start with Furious, $10.99. This is Surly's flagship and most popular beer. This IPA packs a wallop of flavor. Huge grapefruit bitterness, followed by malty caramel and pine notes. It finishes dry with even more grapefruit flavor. The next one I have is Cynic Ale, $9.99. This is a farmhouse ale. Kind of tones down the funk and ups the pepper and spices for a unique take on the style. A great, easy drinking, warm weather beer. The next one is called Overrated, $10.99. This is a West Coast IPA and a hop bomb. It has just enough malt to keep it from going over the edge into overhop territory. Piney and citrus hops lead the way into a dry, dank finish. The last one I have is called Todd the Axeman. $15.99 for the 4-packs, though. The price tag is a little high, but this is one of the best IPAs in the world. The citrus, tropical, and malt flavors are all big and bold. And yet it's pretty balanced. It's extremely well balanced. And I would be sure to pick this one up while it's still fresh.
They have other Surly beers as well. Be sure to check them out. That's it for this week's show. Until next time, drink local and drink responsibly. Thank you for listening to this archived edition of Beer Untapped with Perry Miller. Feel free to listen to other episodes, and if there's anything you'd like us to talk about on a future show, please let us know. Thanks again.